Hello everybody, my name is José Briceño and this video is about the top 10 logical fallacies that we can find in history. So to start, we must first define what is a logical fallacy. I made some presentation sheets that we are going to be using throughout this video, so let's start with this concept. Logical fallacies are the way arguments or ideas are built and backed up by wrong or invalid points which can be proven by using the power of logic. Thing which does not have a logical fallacy. Okay, so this video is going to be pretty straightforward, so we are starting now with circular reasoning. Circular reasoning happens when an argument has only the original statement as proof or support. I'm going to show this clip of an interview that rapper Ice Cube had back in the 90s.
What about the issue of whether violence is increased by what these kids see in the videos and the guns and the stuff like that? Are you thinking this is having any impact? Don't you think that a kid listening to a radio station that is talking about zooming in the boom boom all day long and shaking butts, and isn't that going to put sex on the minds of kids that may not otherwise, or don't let anybody diss you and they're thinking, I gotta go take care of this person?
Well, see, all rap music is not about that. You've just taken a section of it. Just like all movies aren't pornos. It's just a section of the movie, and all movies aren't rated R. So you're just taking a portion and exposing that. The kids of America is violent because America is violent. She deals with her problems with the gun. So how you expect the kids of America not to do the same thing? There's violence in South Africa and in other places in Africa because of the gun. Rap music ain't got nothing to do with that. So they invented the gun, and they've made them very accessible in our community, easy to get to. You know, why is nobody at the Rifle Association talking to them about the guns in our community? No, see, you want to come to the bottom of the barrel. Even if we stop doing the music today, wouldn't nothing change.
And the reason why I believe this is a circular reasoning example is because the main subject is black music and its influence on kids and the perspective of violence around it. So when the reporter says that if the lyrical content and the music videos in rap music are violent, then that is the reason why the kids who are watching that are violent. So the answer is being the same as the original statement. The kids are violent because the music is violent. The music is violent, and that's the reason why kids are violent. So it's a never-ending circle right there. And when Ice Cube responds to the reporter that they are just sending information, the musicians, the rappers, and this is the expression, the message that they are putting out to because it's the reality. Okay, so next one is hasty generalization. Hasty generalization happens when an overall generalization based on a small fractions of the actual facts is made. So the thing with this is that the publicity built around this content makes a hasty generalization to attract the people because everybody wants that clickbait videos to trigger something in the mind of people to think that they are going to get the results that you can see on the thumbnail or that is promised by the title, right? But when you get to the video, you see that there's a bunch of different things that you need to adapt to your body to get those desired results, which is in this case, or for this example, to build muscle. So the hasty generalization could be changed by adapting the videos to a more realistic type of way. The next one is a slippery slope, and this happens when an argument is based on exaggerated assumptions or predictions and are tied to a present action. So as an example for this, we have this Mark Dice tweet that says they recently voted to support gay marriage, so they'll most likely support murdering babies too. That's what liberalism does to a society. Of course, this is coming from a hatred standpoint, not only to gay people, but to the opinion of letting them have their rights just like everybody else. And of course, we know that this is an exaggeration of the actual events of what is really happening, for that same reason, for the hate. This is a clear representation of a slippery slope because he's taking what is happening to another level of events that, first of all, has nothing to do with anything, but he's putting it in such an exaggerated way that he's creating a chain of events. What he's saying is that, well, since they are taking this so lightly and they are voting them to let gay people get married, then why not kill babies too in the future, something like that. Okay, so next one on the list is a straw man. This happens when a distortion of what has been said is made by creating another statement that does not relate to the topic specifically.
It's just that it's not mutually exclusive to still cherish Bam and his work and his legacy,
Right.
and show respect until we hear more.
No, then
from the-
leave hip hop then. See, you still want to use the elements of hip hop, but you don't want to respect the founder of the elements you're using.
That's not disrespect to counter something.
No,
but
no, yes it is.
This is a case of Africa Bambaataa, who is a hip hop pioneer of the music way back. And this case is about him being accused of raping children and child abuse in general, and of him being a pedophile. So to make this clear, we have KRS-One, a famous rapper, and we have the reporter asking him about whether or not, or what he thinks about the Africa Bambaataa case of him raping children and everything. Quickly, KRS-One debates how then anybody who thinks that should quit hip-hop. And that is clearly a strawman fallacy, in my opinion, because he's taking a subject, because he used the argument of hip-hop as the music, as the culture, to try to put above the main subject that was the accusations of Africa Bambaataa raping children and all of that stuff. The next one is ad hominem. Ad hominem happens when somebody attacks another person for their personal nature to use it as the main topic to go against it. So for this example, we have this tweet by Blackness Everdeen, who says, "I'm gonna keep saying this till I get kicked off Twitter. White men are the biggest threat we face as a nation. Fight me." Since she's using a physical appearance, in this case, men being white, to say that they are a threat. So this is, of course, from a point of view maybe that represents something beyond the actual words or what is actually being presented. But if we take it as it is, it's an example of ad hominem. But if we go a little deeper into it and go a little beyond it, we could also say that is the whole thing about the rights being more lean onto the white people and all of this white supremacist theory or this white supremacist thing. Okay, next one on the list is false dichotomy. False dichotomy happens when only two options are created in an argument to try to force the other person to lose the discussion. Right here for this example we have a tweet from Sally Kohn, who says, "You either support the dignity and equal treatment of all LGBT people, or you support their systematic dehumanization." This is right here an example of this fallacy, since we have a clear one-sided point of view, or these words are putting like too much of a space between one side and another, makes this false dichotomy what it is. For example, if you do not support LGBT rights, if you don't support that, that's okay, that is fine, but that doesn't mean that you are against them. That doesn't mean that you are against those people in a violent way, or that you are against them in a way which brings them negative effects in their journey to their freedom of rights and to their humane way of living, right? So this is not, I in my personal opinion, I do not believe that this is a matter of whether you are with us or you're against us. It's a matter of where you are. If you are with us, then that is cool. If you are not with us, then that is also cool. Just know that we are going to keep our way in a peaceful way, that in a peaceful manner. That would be, I think, the way to go. But this is just an opinion. So I think this is one of those situations in where if you agree or not, shouldn't make a difference in the right way to do things, which is, for example, not getting the way in a negative manner in the LGBT community. The next one is appeal to emotion. This happens when a person uses emotion-based techniques to get the other person to believe in their idea or concept.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you!
So I do think that is really an appeal to emotion to get the crowd behind her, but not only for this occasion, but in overall perspective of the subject, because of course this is light TV. If I'm correct, if not, against a wide variety of people have seen this video. I do think that the appeal of emotion that she uses is, of course, maybe coming from a real concern on the topic, but also from a perspective of putting a limitation between what she feels and what other people should feel, right? Since she's already a known figure on the topic, it's unnecessary for her to show this kind of emotion for something that we all know she really is concerned about, and that is why I personally believe that this is an appeal to emotion fallacy regarding to how she's approaching the subject and how it's getting it to the public. Equivocation. This happens when an argument is presented with an idea that contains more than one meaning to it, which can make the statement confusing. For this example, we are using a tweet by Post Malone, which says, "You're only young once, so fuck it." And what I want to get in with this tweet, more from a perspective of trying to disconstruct its real meaning, right? He's saying, "You're only young once, so fuck it." What that means is that you are not going to have the same experiences that you are having right now as a young teen or as a young person in the future, because you are going to be in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, and so on, and you are going to be, of course, advanced of age, but your mind is going to change, your body is going to change, your whole life is not going to be the same, and therefore you are not going to be able to appreciate the same things in the same way. But on the other hand, this doesn't mean that everything is right for you, right? So not only because you are young once, you are going to get drunk every day and you are going to waste your youth doing things that on the long run are not beneficial for you. So the fact that you are going to be young once, or that you are going to live once for that matter, it doesn't really balances the opportunities that you are going to get by living, for example, in that using that same word, in a balanced way between what you want, what you need, what you desire, and what it has and what you need to do, right? He could meant that tweet to have a totally different meaning, but it could also mislead people to think otherwise. Okay, so next one is called bandwagon appeal. This happens when an idea or argument is backed up only by the past actions or thoughts of a group of people who desire to convince others of what they think to be true. The bandwagon appeal can very well apply to the way the education system is built to grade and to put on tax on students and on people for their efforts based on things that I do not think that they prepare them for the real issues of life, and that's why I think it is a fallacy. The way the whole process is constructed, and the way it's built on the long run for you to do the things that we do, for example, right? This is not me holding any critique or holding any grudge or something like, or critiquing, I'm sorry. It's just something that I do think that since it has been going on for such a long time, I think that it's just a normal thing now. Even though I could be wrong, I do think that can really hold some truth to the way this, let's go like that, fallacy is presented to us from the beginning. The last one is false analogy, and this happens when somebody puts together a weak comparison of unrelated subjects to prove a point. They are shown on screen right here, and I apologize because they're a little explicit, but my point is this. The similarity between these tweets is that they're comparing the whole group of men and the whole group of women in the respective tweets as the same group of people, as if they were all equal. So they're taking one similarity, one similarity, and using it for the rest of their theory, which is absolutely wrong. So I hope that you have enjoyed it, and I really hope that it was helpful. So goodbye. Thank you for your attention.